Well, hello again, and welcome to Sacred Writings. My name is Jason Damiani, and today I will be going over my 1531 Biblia Sacra. Alright guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. The Bible leaf that I'm going over is the second Bible leaf that I purchased. It was printed in the year 1531, which makes this particular leaf 491 years old as of 2023. The passage that this leaf is, I'll give you an example, or I'll show you what it looks like. Here is this leaf. It's a very small one. It's probably one of the smallest in my collection. But like I said, it's the second one that I purchased. I actually really enjoy it. This is Latin leaf. It was printed in this very small font here. But this passage that is from Acts chapters 21 through 23. And if you're interested, to give a brief synopsis of those chapters, in chapters 21 through 23, Paul goes to Jerusalem and visits James there. He is eventually arrested in the temple and then makes his case before the people, the Roman tribune, and the council. And of course, the Jews have some kind of plot to arrest and kill Paul, specifically to kill him. They make a vow that they're not going to eat, they're not going to sleep until he's dead. And then Paul is eventually sent to the governor Felix. So that's basically what's going on. It's a lot of information there, and it's amazing to think that 3 whole chapters, and these chapters from the book of Acts are actually pretty lengthy, so that all of those fit on this tiny little page is quite amazing. So that's typical of Latin. We'll see a lot of abbreviated words, so I'll talk about those in more videos. If there's history behind this, I always like to provide interesting facts, historical events, or things going on during that time. And so around this time, the year 1531, in England, they had separated from the Catholic Church, and Henry VIII basically makes himself the head of the church. So a pretty historical event going on during the time of this particular leaf, but nothing really major aside from that. So, who printed this leaf? Who was basically responsible for it? It's a man named Johannes Mariscal. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. There's not a lot of information about him, so that's pretty much all I know. It was printed by this gentleman hundreds of years ago, and we know that it was printed in Lyon, France. So Lyon, France is very old, very interesting, a lot of great stuff that goes on there, but I don't know much about Johannes, who wrote this, or printed this Bible, rather. So, is there any significance to this leaf? Is there anything that makes it really interesting, really maybe valuable or rare or special? Unfortunately, no. There's not. When I bought this, I really got it because, again, it was my second leaf. I was still trying to learn a lot about this stuff, trying to research things, and I really only bought it for its age. That's the main historical significance behind it. It's that it's old. 500-year-old document is pretty awesome to have. The condition is really good. There's a slight stain right here in the middle of it. It's hard to see. You may be able to see it better in the close-ups of that. But yes, I won this leaf at auction on eBay. There were several auctions that I was going for that this particular seller had. I didn't know much about the Bible collecting world at this time. So like I said, I just happened to find this leaf. I don't know exactly. I can't remember how I found it. I don't know if I was looking for it or if I just happened to stumble across it. I can't remember exactly what went into it when I found it. But funny enough, my wife and I were in our home and we lost power. It was some crazy storm and it knocked out the power. And so remember we were driving around town trying to find places of electricity, trying to find something to eat because we didn't have anything to make at the house. And so I remember being in a parking lot and I had lost I think 2 or 3 auctions. This person was selling several of these same leaves. And I was like, oh man, I really want this, I really want this, I really want this. And I kept losing. Now, I wasn't spending a lot of money on it because, like I said, I just got into it. I didn't want to spend an arm and a leg trying to get this. And so I lost all the other ones only by a few dollars. And I think what also made it bad is that I was using the web version on my phone rather than the app. So I ended up downloading the app for this particular one that I bid it on and won it for $19 after shipping and fees and all that stuff, or tax. So very cheap leaf, didn't spend a lot of money on it, but it was really cool to see a leaf this old, to have it in my collection, something that I really enjoy. This one is one of those more sentimental ones to me. I do like that it is from the book of Acts. Of course, I love all books of the Bible, but Acts is very interesting as it has a lot of history about the early church. And so, really cool to see it. I remember when I got it, it was a lot smaller than I anticipated it to be. Actually, it got delivered when my wife and I were on a vacation with my family, and we had other relatives in town who were coming to meet us at the vacation spot, and I asked them to bring a leaf, and so they brought it for me. So I actually opened it up on vacation. Really interesting, really cool to look at. Again, like I said, I was a little bit disappointed that it was much smaller than the pictures made it look, but it was still a really cool piece of history and definitely helped on the trajectory to get more items to add to my collection. So that's all I really have about this. Unfortunately, like I said, there's not a ton that I was able to find on it. I've looked through my multiple resources and wasn't able to get much information on it. Maybe in years to come or months to come, I'll find some great helpful stuff about it, but as of now, not much that I've been able to find on it. But I'll continue to do more research and definitely make a new video if I find something interesting enough or significant enough to warrant a new video. But that's all I got for this. Be sure to stick around for the close-up shots of this leaf after. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Make sure you like the video and check out my other ones. I appreciate you guys coming in, and see you in the next video. Mm-hmm.